Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is ConflctNerd Callum here today, bringing you another episode of my Prison Architect series. In today's episode we're going to continue to upgrade the prison to go ahead and meet higher standards, basically improve the facilities, and also go ahead and just try and finish off some more grants which we've currently got going. That is the main aim. So we're going to go ahead and start with something which is annoying me quite a little bit actually. It's to do with the path, so I don't really know why it is, but it's just pissing me off a little bit. We're missing some paving stones in certain places here which we shouldn't be, so I need to go ahead and just lay down a few more paving stones. Really not a big issue at all, but it's something which really does piss me off. I also want to go ahead and add in strips of grass, and quite a lot of this whole area actually. Long term, is that worth that much money? I am actually going to do it, to be fair. I just want the yard to just be a little bit nicer. It just looks very contrasting with, for example, you can tell what the old fences are, that's for sure. It's also got a bit of dirt down the bottom here, so something which I just want to go ahead and improve a little bit. So with that done, we can go ahead and turn my attention back to what I was really doing at the end of the last episode, which was going ahead and extending the entrance area to this prison. So I need to go ahead and grab myself a gate of some sort, which is the road gate. So we're going to add in ourselves a road gate there, and a road gates there. Then we're going to go ahead and jump into objects, we're going to demolish you, we're going to demolish you, and then it's just going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit of a better system here, because I want to go ahead and add in a better entrance to the visitation wing. How is that going to work exactly? Well, it's going to be a very small extra entrance, but it is going to work quite easily, quite like this. So we're going to add you in there. It's only going to be too wide, because that's all it really essentially needs to be. We're then going to go ahead and actually we'll have to go to there, won't it? That'd work out fine. Then it's going to work. We need to go ahead as well when these gates get done up. We need to demolish some more fences. We need to add in a pathway, yada yada yada. It just means that you don't have to have people trekking through this whole admin building unnecessarily. We've also got a lot of people waiting out here at the front, not really at all sure why you guys are waiting here. The holding cell hasn't been used once, that really annoys me. Why is it not get used? Very strange. Anyway, I also want to go ahead and make a change to the reception area there, just because that's a little bit unnecessary, just having that small square there, so that works out much better. There's also some tile things which I need to sort out as well, which I'll do it at some point also. So are we going ahead and we've for some reason destroyed those gates before building these new gates. I realise I didn't set high priority, but game's logic, you know, I mean that's I guess a little bit unsecure. So we can now go ahead, the storage rooms are starting to get used, which is good. Essentially only one of them is really getting mainly used, but it's nice to not just have everything storing up on the outside of our prison, because this area can fill up quite quickly. I do need to go ahead now, we've done that, I can go ahead and dismantle our walls, I guess. We're dismantling this section of fence here, which is something which won't take too long. Then I need to go ahead and get you guys to start working on that area there, though essentially you can't do that until you get access to it. So we need objects, we need a large jail door which we'll put in there. We also then need a large jail door which we're going to put in there. I think we're going to cut this back actually, so I want to go ahead and anything which I did build in there we won't. Then I need to go ahead and have a, what we're going for, materials here, we're going for concrete floor. Or not concrete floor, paving stones, paving stones. So that's just going to be along there, it's just going to be this is going to be this new entrance which I've been talking about. So that's now into a building which is good. And that is an extra entrance into this visitation area, so don't really know if it'll get used to be fair, but it is something which is good to have going forward. I also do need to add in some metal detectors though, because metal detectors is something which you definitely need for a area of this, because I obviously don't want stuff being snuck in or snuck out into my prisoners. Right, so that's pretty much good to go. I just need to make one small modification. We can get rid of part of this fence now, to be fair, because essentially it's unnecessary for at least a good section of this area. So what I am going to do is put in a, let me think about this, let's put a fence in probably along there for the time being. So that means that no one can really escape. We'll put in an extra wee bit there as well, just so we're unnecessarily adding fences in here. Then we can go ahead and jump in here and we can demolish this whole section here while still being secure. I mean, there's no need. I mean, this area isn't a compound anyway, so that can all go. And been demolishing a lot of fences recently, that's for sure. We also need to go ahead, we're getting some more prisoners in shortly in 2 hours time, which is good. We also go ahead and demolish that section area as well as we continue our expansion down the bottom here. Canteen's working out well, which is good. I need to go ahead and make some altercations over here, which we'll do later on too. So I think it's time for a shakedown. Oh, the grass is looking nice, dude. The grass is looking very nice. Very happy about that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a shakedown because I think it's about time. We've not had a shakedown in a while, and I think we can see quite a few guys going to solitary confinement. That is for sure, because we are solitary confinement. The new cells aren't really getting too much use, and I think they deserve a little bit of use. Right now all guards are busy, so you guys will get to visit very shortly. I also need to go ahead and add in utilities. We need to go ahead and extend our power cable just that little bit more, just 1 or 2 bits more, just so we can go ahead and provide ourselves a little bit of electricity. A lot of stuff has been found actually, which is not good, so I think we're about to start to see people get moved into solitary confinement because, yeah, a lot of stuff has been found. A lot of stuff. Not as bad as I thought it could have been, but a saw, for example. How do you sneak a saw in? Booze, I understand. Poison, that's pretty bad. Drugs as well, shears, a lot of this stuff which is very strange. So a lot of this stuff is the gardener stuff, interestingly. So looks like there's only one guy in solitary right now actually, though I've got a feeling that will get a little bit higher. I think that's near enough every place searched now, which is good, so I'm happy that we went ahead and did that. That was really required. I need to turn my attention to over here as well, because we're missing a small pipe over here, which that will just not cost me very much, but it's required because in a sense everyone really does require that little bit of water. So out with that, I need to go ahead and let's get back to grants. That's something which we've not focused on in a while. So right now we've got this underway, so if we turn our attention really over to the left, you can read it a little bit better. So the reforms one for 40,000 have 10 prisoners pass the foundation education course, and I have 1 prisoner pass the general course. So for that we need to look at programs. How's the foundation one doing? Can I rerun it? So we've got no one interested in the general education course, which sucks, and we've also got right now, we've got the, which we're starting right now, so we've got the foundation program, so 2 of those are running right now simultaneously, so that's going to take a little bit of time to get through, I guess. Why are we struggling and why are we taking so long to do the final bit of the shakedown? Very strange. Is it in a restricted area, or I'm really not at all sure. Why are you also up there? You're also stuck up here again, aren't you? We are going to go ahead and actually delete this fence here, because this fence, there's no need for this fence here either. So we can go ahead and get rid of you, and that will start to help things out that little bit there too. I'm also going to go ahead and probably extend the cells in this episode as well. So only 1 guy in solitary, after all that, only 1 guy. Very, very strange indeed. Right, we are going to go ahead though and look at taking out another grant too. So if I can go ahead and make sure we stay on Prison Architect, because I clicked off my screen there. Let's go ahead and look at grants and let's see what we can do. So, have 2 dog handler units and have 2 armed guards. I think that's the next obvious one, so we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves that. There's also an ideal room for that, which we'll go ahead and do. So visitation, yep, don't care. Prisoners, 13 prisoners are up for parole actually. That's something which I can go ahead and check maybe soon. My prison grading, so this is not the best to be honest, only 36%, so reform not the best. Security is pretty decent, health isn't good, and punishment's quite high. Something which I am relatively strict on. That's probably the only thing. Reform not touched. Security is a high priority for me, having lots of guards, good guard ratio, and also having lots of gates and that sort of thing. Having restrictions on areas where prisoners shouldn't be. And then also health. Health's something I've really not focused on since we went ahead and built our infirmary. I don't really think I can really expand on that too much, to be fair actually. Like, we can maybe go ahead and get ourselves nurses really, but this is something I've not been into in a long time. Armory is the next thing we need to unlock. Intelligence is going to be along with that, and surveillance too. So we're going really down the security section. We go for our dogs as well. Remote access unlocks high-tech equipment for remote control and automation of doors. Doors can be opened. That is something I want. So spending a lot of money on security right now, which is something which I think we need. Bar that, legal, not really interested in that for the time being, so I think we're all good. Right, this shakedown needs to hurry up. Why? What other areas are we still needing to search? I'm not really at all sure. So that box in there's probably just one or two wee small things which haven't been searched. I'm just trying to find them though, like where are they? That is the thing. I literally cannot see. I don't know, 4 more things still need searched and they'll get searched eventually, but... Strange that one, strange. I really don't know where. To be fair, oh, it's down here at the bottom, so no one can get access into this area. Ah, that's understandable. What we will do actually, because we can go ahead and just essentially demolish this wall here. Just because there's no need for it, so we'll go ahead and get rid of you, and that works out nicely. So, I guess it's an area which prisoners can get into and they can free roam, but it would literally be pointless. So that'll solve that issue, and in general everything is good. So, going back to education, it looks like some people are back in the classroom. How are we actually doing on this one? So, yeah, we've not got a lot of people past the foundation course, so I think we're quite a bit away from that. It looks like there's a little bit of a class change. So right now, obviously, we've not got our low and our high security, or sorry, our low and medium. They're not in the same class time. I've gone ahead and altered their schedules. It's the laundry machines. How are you guys doing? Do you just need more? Or do we need more janitors or more laundry baskets? I could see us doing with more laundry baskets, to be fair, actually. So I think that's something which I'll go ahead and grab. So we'll go ahead and just line this wee bit here with 3 more laundry baskets as well. We've also got some guys working in here as well, actually. Matt, Crowded Worlds Kelly. God, what a nickname that is, son. Crowded Worlds Kelly. Crowded Worlds. Wow, that is an interesting one, I'll give you that. So that works out not too bad. So the new visitation entrance is in operation, which is good, and I'm happy to see that. What else? Honestly, like, I'm really doing good. I'm just waiting for stuff to happen. So I think it's time to turn my attention to going ahead and building and expanding the prison even more. I just want to, in a sense, expand my daily income. That's what I really want. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to go ahead and set up 2 different blocks here in with the one block. Magic, isn't it? So we're going to go ahead and have a small maximum security and also a small... Well, I mean, the medium security is not bad, but I mean, right now we've got 4 maximum security prisoners. I'm going to go ahead and accommodate for maybe about 6 or 8 in a small extension to this prison block. So it's going to be 1 building, but 2 blocks, essentially. So for that, we need to go ahead and grab ourselves some foundations. Again, this is going to be concrete. We're going to expand this, we're going to expand this not too much, to be fair, actually. It's going to be probably about 10 more, so that's cost me 3,900. Fair bit of money, to be fair, but that won't take too long to build. Looks like someone just got caught for something there. They didn't get sent to solitary, which is strange. We also need to go ahead and add in some staff doors into this area here, possibly jail doors actually, because this is where our armory and all that sort of stuff is going to be in this room here too. It also really needs a good clean out as well. That's something which is definitely required. So we'll get that door in and that'll make that change happen. I'm really happy with how the grass has turned out actually, really like it. So we're going to go ahead and also add in some more grass. Even though it cost me quite a bit, I think it's definitely makes the prison look just that much prettier, and grass doesn't cost too much, to be fair. So we're going to go ahead and line this whole area eventually with grass if we can. So we'll go ahead and add that whole section in. I realise I'm spending a lot of money right now, but we're about to get more prisoners in soon anyway, so I mean it works out fine. So let's go ahead and just basically the full yard, the full area inside enclose the prison which people can walk in. I want to have grass like that. So that'll take a little bit of time to happen, but to be fair, it's already getting rolled out really quickly actually. Unfortunately, it looks like it's got rid of some of my paths though, which is something which I did not want at all. So I'll have to go ahead and relay those. I also want to go ahead and make some tiny modifications to this area here. I just want to add 2 walls and those little side bits there. Don't really know why, I just do. For the time the canteen's doing fine in size, we're also going to start to build for the future as well right now too. So we're going to go ahead and... What is going on up here? Strange. I'm going to go ahead and start to, I guess, extend this area so we can start to add in more cells, slowly but surely. No rush to do it, but it's going to happen. So 1, 2, 3, that would be enough for a cell, and then 4 we need the back wall. So what we're doing is essentially we're just doing that. That's going to take a little bit of time to happen, but again, we're not going to rush to go ahead and extend the cells. That will add in a lot more into that block though, which is the long-term goal. So the short-term goal for this area is, I mean, it's not going to be that drastic, to be honest. It's just going to be a small cell area. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start to pre-work this out in my head. So concrete wall. So we need foundation there, then it would be foundation there. So if I go ahead and add in the door and these two here. So if we go ahead and jump back out here, you're about to see what I'm about to build anyway. So that works out fine. So we can go ahead and speed that up and make this into a proper building. We're going to go ahead and split this building in two, essentially. That's what we're really going to do. So there we go, that is formed into a building, which is good. So where this current cell is, I'm going to turn this into the showers area for this whole section here. And then we're just going to go ahead and line this area with cells. That's the bottom line. So let's go ahead and start to basically build these cells. So it's going to be two cells along the bottom here. And then I mean, this is not going to be a very large area at all. It's really not going to be. It's not going to house a lot of prisoners, but it is going to require our current maximum security and also a few more, or high security. I believe there's a difference. I believe there's an extra classification, which is something I've not unlocked yet, but I will unlock in the future. I also want to go ahead and not do that, but I'm actually going to go ahead and pre-extend this area as well to go ahead and just accommodate for some more higher security prisoners. So we'll do that there. That works out fine. We'll have to go ahead and, let me think. We'll have to demolish this wall here. Again, why are you going around there? I mean, you're entitled to go around there, but I mean, there's literally no point in going in around there. I'm really digging the grass right now. I really am digging the grass. Really happy with it. I think we need the gardeners. I don't know where the gardeners are because this area is really overgrowing. I really don't like it. The gardeners are probably working in the whole prison itself, i.e., for example, in the outer areas. That's not the priority. It's keeping this grass sort of in check and just keeping everything nice, because the pathways, for example, you've got stuff growing on it, and that's something which I don't want to see. So as you can see, this area is starting to take shape already, which is nice. Let's go ahead and make our first ever modification up the top here. So it's going to be... Actually, we can fit 3 along the top here, actually. We can just have an extra large jail cell. Someone's going to get lucky anyway and have a larger jail cell. Then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this area into a shower area at the bottom. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I think that's what we'll definitely do for the time being. And then we'll work towards modifying this whole area eventually later on too. So for the shower area, it's not actually going to be as big. I think we're going to keep that cell as part of that cell block there. We're just going to go ahead and knock down that wall. I can't go ahead and extend this area to my left until these two tiles get built. So if we can go ahead and... what is it? Control C, Control L? Well, it's getting built now anyway, so that works out fine. So we can now go ahead and start to demolish some more walls again, which is probably one of my favourite things. So let's go ahead and demolish that whole section here. The showers are actually going to be very, very small actually. Take it back. They're going to be, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of people here, I guess, so it's really not required. It's really not required to be a lot. So I've decided to change my mind already actually on what I was doing, which is not the best. Let's go ahead and demolish that there. Then let's go ahead and I need to get utilities into this area actually, because it's a whole separate wing essentially. So for this we need to go ahead, I've really not laid this out well, have I? I should have moved it over a little bit, or I can move this one back actually. That's probably what I'll do eventually going forward. So for this, think Callum, think. So utilities, that's what we need. We're in utilities, and we've also got a lot of these cameras, CCTV. Oh, that's interesting. I was like, why is there so many more options here? It's because of that exact fact, which we'll turn our attention to, not right now, but we will eventually soon. So I'm just thinking where I'm lining showers here. Let's go ahead and start to define some rooms. So the first thing is showers. And we've got a small shower. It's not going to be a large shower area. Again, it's not needed, but we'll go ahead and do that in here. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's going to be 9 maximum security prisoners that this prison can hold. So really not a lot at all. Right, next thing we need is showers. So let's go ahead and get you shower heads in very quickly. We might actually be building more than 9 shower heads here, to be fair. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's more than 9 here, so there's definitely adequate stuff. Then on top of that, we're just getting so much stuff now, just through all these buildings. I have to search for most things, which I do not enjoy at all. Got 2 drains there, that works out fine, and that is enough. That is definitely fine for the shower area. So we now need to turn our attention to the actual jail cells. So concrete wall for some reason is not in some of these areas, and again you two guys are trapped in there. So let's turn our attention to objects and let's start getting in some jail doors. So we'll add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I realise they're not symmetrical, but it's not the end of the world. Then we'll add into some more jail doors along there. Someone is going to get an extra large cell actually, which is very, very fortunate for them. So, and I mean, of all prisoners, that they should not be getting special treatment. They should be getting the worst treatment. So we're going to go ahead and start to add in some beds into some of these cells. As we can see next door, there is showers going on. This area floods out a little bit actually, I realised, which is something I should probably add in some drains in there actually. So I'll add in 1, 2, 3 drains in there, and that should hopefully go ahead and help things out. Along with that, let's go ahead and finish off placing in these beds for the time being. So really not a lot of stuff, but they're in there. Then let's go ahead. Oh, I didn't place beds there. Oh, I always do that. I go ahead and I'll do that soon, and then I just totally forget about it. So let's go ahead and add in toilets. Very easily like that, and we should be able to go ahead and open this new area quite soon actually, which is good. It just means just be a little bit of a shuffle around the whole prison in general, which is good. So that's about pretty much done, to be fair. There's nothing else required. So let's go ahead and jump back into, we've got the intelligence tab now actually, which is interesting. So the demand and for the weapons and the supply. Ah, okay, that's interesting. Very interesting indeed. Anyway, let's jump back into deployment. So right now that is low security. We're going to have this one as the quote-unquote maximum. It's not been defined yet actually, so I'll go ahead and do that in a second. I will do that now actually. Don't know why I'm putting that off. It's just because I've not connected everything up properly yet. So all these cells are going to be maximum only. Now I realise it's going to change in a little bit when I go ahead and redefine stuff, but just give me a few seconds and you'll see really why I'm going ahead and doing it that way. So let's go ahead and add in some small pipe sections up there. We also need to add in an extra large pipe, or extra extension anyway, going up there. And that's going to take probably quite a while to build, knowing our workmen. How are we doing on this staff wellness actually? I think staff wellness is something which I've not checked up on in a while. I think the jobs in general, a lot of stuff happening, that's for sure. What's going on there? So something happened with a prisoner. Strange. And some laundry stuff. Everything's doing fine. The staff room's getting used by the staff. Some of them are tired, but I think you guys in general are doing fine. We're starting to maybe require some more electricity soon. That's something which may become a possibility. Look at that grass. It looks so nice. Again, it still needs a lot of work. These gardeners are very, very busy. It's interesting to say though that our daily cash flow's down a little bit, which is something which is I'm not the biggest fan of. I also need to go ahead and make modifications to my fence here before we go ahead and assign this to the proper maximum security. So we'll go ahead and just move this fence back, and we're going to delete this whole area and just extend the yard even more. So we'll go ahead and demolish that fence even though the new fence is still getting built, and that works out no problemo. They're still not escaping, so we're totally fine. Let's go ahead and demolish these doors because they're just sort of spasming out now. And then let's go ahead and turn our attention to some more materials. Paving stone, so we'll go ahead and extend that section there. We'll then go ahead and draw down from there and then draw in there. I want to turn my attention to quick building and planning because we can get rid of that, and this whole plan's not really viable anymore, so no. Why am I in quick builds? Please don't tell me you're going to build something there. I don't think it is going to build something there. I think we're totally fine. So this is essentially, you guys are good to go actually. Someone's got a hammer, which is not good. The reason I added in tiny wee sections here in the canteen was just because I wanted to go ahead and make sure for some reason like they could go diagonally. I don't think you can go diagonally in this game, but you could essentially maybe get around the metal detectors, which is just defeating the purpose. How are my cooks doing actually? So I think something we could do with is a new cook. Because a cook is something which I've not hired in a while. I think we've got, what, 3 cooks overall? Yeah, 3 cooks, but because originally the kitchen was getting used all at one time, whereas now it's split over a constant shift, so you're constantly needing to go ahead and maintain the kitchen. So, you're constantly needing to cook, you're constantly needing to clean. So, I think there is a little bit more of a demand of just work power over there. So, continuing on with the grass theme, we're going to go ahead and also fill this area in with grass. We're going to go ahead and fill that small area there, and then we'll fill in this part of the yard with grass as well. I also need to go ahead and add in a staff door as well. So if we go ahead and add in a staff door, we'll just add in a staff door there, just so people can get into the outer perimeter, because there's workmen stuck out there as per usual. So this new area has been built, which is good. You should be able to get out of this current area now. Oh, it's a prisoner's out there actually. And he's probably been stuck out there a while actually, which isn't too good. What are all you guys doing down here? You guys are gardening. You're not gardening in the priority areas though. I really don't care about that area, you know? I could, I realise, assign them just to the yard, but it's not really that important. That's one thing I will do now though, is expand the yard over to here, which works out fine. So just a really long yard now. I'm really liking how the shape of this prison is working out. Some of the buildings are still a bit funny shaped, which I'm not the biggest fan of. However, it's something which is getting there. Also, this fence modification hasn't happened, has it? Why is that? Because you can't get access to that area, to be fair, so it's not really required. Right, so the next thing I need to go ahead and do is turn my attention back to the logistics. Or deployment. Deployment is the thing, what I need to do. So you're essentially good to go ahead and just be turned into all reds. Then now I've done that, I can go ahead and change my thing here to cells, and let's go ahead and define you guys as actual proper cells. So we'll go ahead and do that. That is, oh dear, get rid of that bit there. You guys okay? You guys happy? You are surrounded by walls properly, but for some reason you're not working that way. So it looks like some guys are moving in here already. I'm just going to go ahead and, I don't know why it's doing this. Very, very strange. I know why it is. It's because I really mucked up that build there. So we'll go ahead and add and use to. Use will be fine. Then we'll add use to and use will be fine. So right now we've got room for 4. So we've got extra beds going, which is good. So if I go ahead and think. So prisoners, we've got 4 right now, but we can take in another 5 essentially. So that's what's going to happen. I'm sure we're about to take... We're not getting any more prisoners in very quickly, to be fair, but I can go ahead now and jump into deployment and change this into a medium security area. So that is what I've literally been wanting. Low security, medium normal security, and maximum security, all on their own sort of sub-blocks. So with that done, I need to go ahead and grab myself, I'm going to grab myself like 5 more guards, I think. We'll grab ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just a lot. We're spending a lot of money on guards there, just because, and I know that's eating into my budget, but we're getting more people in, we're going to continue to get more people in, and it's just going to, I'm about to build more cells, so I think it's just best going forward anyway. We also need to work on intelligence to automatically open jail doors and that sort of thing as well. I think that's going to be really handy going forward. So we need to go ahead and jump back into deployment. We need to assign 2 guards into that small area as well. That's just consistently having 2 guards in every single cell block. So with that done, we're going to go ahead and we're also going to start to work towards expanding this cell block as well here. So if we jump back into foundations, concrete, this small section is going to get its orders now too. And we're actually going to go ahead and start to work on this new area up the top here. So how do we actually get it to build? Well, I need to go ahead and demolish just 1. That's literally what I'm going to do. Just demolish you. So if one of you guys, workmen, can come along in here and get to work on that, that would be great. We've got enough showers, I think, anyway, to go ahead and make these guys happy. Or I could make a new shower area along the top, to be fair, actually. That's maybe an option, and go ahead and put cells back in at the bottom. That's something I think I will do, actually. So if I go ahead and jump into materials, we can demolish this whole wall now, actually, to be fair. You guys are also working on some electricity stuff. I do need to go ahead and controversially remove you. Then I need to go ahead and rebuild you very quickly. So you guys go ahead and rebuild that very quickly, so prisoners can't just... I mean, this extra area here, I mean, it's a bit unnecessary, but it is there, essentially. So that works out. I think we're going to add access into that area, though it's going to be through of all rooms of visitation, but it's going to be safe because there's a guard that patrols this area anyway, plus it'll be a jail door, so it'll work out totally fine. So that's all good. So that extra fence is there, to be fair. I don't know if it's needed. Yeah, this is the problem, guys. So that jail door's in, so you can escape, and I just keep going back on half the stuff I build, so we can go ahead and get rid of all that, and that is totally safe up against the wall there, so that works out fine, and we're all good. So your workmen can continue to work. Someone needs to go ahead and fill in this wee corner piece here, which you've not done, so if we can go ahead, it's on the list, it's just not happening for some reason. So anyway, let's turn my attention to actually inside the prison again. So we need to go ahead and basically just build a section along there. Then let's add 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, 5 cell, and no, let's not add cells in there, because this is gonna, game, don't do this to me. So let's add that back in there. Then we're gonna add in the new, or a secondary shower area in here. Maybe it can be a little bit bigger than that actually. We'll go ahead and start to define the cells along here. So we'll start to add in you, I'm gonna definitely put a new guard into this area actually, because this has got quite large. And then this will be the new shower area as well. So plenty of showers, but we're gonna go ahead and lose the shower area at the bottom. We're gonna turn this into this into 2 cells at the bottom. So there's going to be quite a lot of changes. So the first change is I need to go ahead and actually draw out the cells, map them out very quickly. So we jump back into objects, into jail doors, start to add in the jail doors, because we've got a lot of workmen being stupid and stuck. I don't know how many more we're actually adding into here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then another 5, and then another 2. So we're adding in 12 new cells into this area, and yeah, that's it, 12 more. So not really that large an update or modification, but I mean it's good to have none the least. So the next thing is rooms. Then we need to go ahead and grab ourselves some showers. So we'll go ahead and grab this area in here. Then we'll go ahead and look at objects. Then we'll go ahead and look at shower heads. So place you guys along the top here, nice and easy, like so. And then we'll go ahead and add in the final object, which is the rain. So let's go ahead and grab 2 views, just stick you guys in the middle there, and that works out nicely. So the final thing I need to go ahead and do to actually make those showers work, even though we're not actually accepting any more prisoners, is to just go ahead and draw some pipes in, like so, and that works out fine. That will all be sorted, and that will be fine, and people can start using those new showers near enough straight away once it's actually installed. That's going to take a while though, so I'll remove this area. They're just about to wake up to shower actually. I think they shower at 8 o'clock if I'm right. Let's look at the regime, boys. The regime is, yes, you shower at 8 AM is the bottom line. Don't know why I just went off on a weird tangent there, but I did. So we're gonna, no prisoners arriving at 8 o'clock, but I can filter capacity, and we do have some free cells right now. There is, yeah, as we can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, so I'm surprised I'm not getting some more maximum security. Not gonna lie, I thought I would be, but we're not for the time being. So I've got filter capacity on there, so, but I've also not got maximum security open, so I might take in a few more. We'll see how things go. If the game doesn't do it for me automatically, I might do it myself. So with that done, we can go ahead and basically just delete this area at the bottom, which is what we're going to do. So if we go ahead and demolish that wall, and demolish that wall because you're irrelevant, we then jump into objects. We're going to dismantle you, all these shower heads basically, which is nice and easily done. Then we're going to go ahead and dezone that room. So we jump into rooms, dezone. That works out fine. Then let's go ahead and start drawing out the new cells. So brick walls, that's going to be up there, and then up there, and then just along there, nice and easy like that. And the final thing I need to do is go ahead and add in a jail door there, and a jail door in there. And that works out fine. So 2 shower areas, adequate cells, and I'm really happy with how that cell block is now. And I like as well that I've just gone ahead and grouped all the prisoners by their different prisoner category, I guess you could say. A lot of work still to be done, but what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to wrap this episode up here. So hope you have enjoyed it. Prison's still got a long way to go for me to be happy, to be fair actually. I'm still working towards a lot of things. The series has dropped in views though, which is something which I'm always a little bit disheartened by, not gonna lie. I know you really shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to views, like I just care all about the views, but at the same time, I mean, views is so much of the video if you understand what I mean, so it's one of these things which I'm still going to continue the series no matter what though. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, rating, subscribe if you are new around here. Go ahead and click some of the links on screen to videos you might not have seen, and that's all for this video. So thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.